Qualcomm Stadium, San Diego, where the Padres are 5 games under the 500 mark on the year. And as mentioned, the Cardinals have had some big-time struggles on the road. 2 weeks ago, Tony La Russa's team came into a Monday night with an 11-game winning streak. But a crazy game in Cincinnati led to losing 3 out of 4, and the Cardinals have been struggling ever since. Their Chevy lineup tonight has Fernando Vina at the top. They've got some good table setters, Rick, and then some very potent bats in the middle of that lineup when they're all clicking together.
Really a tough lineup to get through. The key is to keep the first and second guys off base, but that's easier said than done. J.D. Drew, tremendous in his last outing against tonight's starting pitcher for San Diego. Bobby Jones, career, he's 3 for 5. He's got 2 home runs. You know, other teams made deals at the trading deadline to get better. All St. Louis wanted to do was get J.D. Drew back.
They got him back. His production has been outstanding. Not so for Bobby Jones. He's given up a lot of unearned runs, and in close ball games, Rick, his defense has betrayed him numerous times this year.
Well, the defense has let him down. The offense has let him down as well, not providing support. But this San Diego Padre team, if they catch the baseball, they don't beat themselves defensively, they are a good team.
Worst defense in baseball with 125 errors, the most of any team in the major leagues.
But that bad defense does not start at home with Ben Davis behind the plate. Just 24 years of age. Through the month of August, he had caught in more games than any other catcher in the major leagues. He has put his heart and soul into developing defensively. He's part of the rotation first, part of the lineup second.
And he even played first base yesterday for the first time.
Well, the biggest reason for that is because Bruce Bochy has seen what has happened with Mike Piazza in the past. Now, they're not comparing Ben Davis to Piazza, but they think he's going to be an all-star type player. Bochy saying yesterday he thought Piazza cost himself a couple of MVPs by having a fatigue factor late in the year.
Digging in, feisty little leadoff man Fernando Vina. He ran into J.D. Drew in a collision last week. He is really beat up. And he gets one out to right center. A slow break for Trammell, and Vina hobbles down to first base with a leadoff hit.
Battle you with everything he possibly has. Bobby Jones wanting to get that fastball inside, but he let it leak back across the heart of the plate. It's so going.
Well, Vina has been hit 19 times this year. He's at first base for Palanco, and this little guy has become a big story for the Cardinals. Vina started, then stopped, and Palanco, who's in a 4 for 25 slump, pops it up, and it's caught by Phil Nevin.
It's scary to think about how much better he has gotten from just last year to this year.
Here's the 2-2, and Drew called out on a pitch that he thought was inside. That's the second out here in the first, and let's check in with Dave Rebson.
All right, guys, Sports Center in game. We had 2 Chicago White Sox and Indy in Chicago. 7.5 back coming in. Sox up 3-2 in the 6th. Not for long. Ellis Burks taking care of that. 3-run shot is 24th. It's 5-3 Tribe as they head to the 8th, guys.
It's still mathematically alive for the White Sox, but they've got to beat Cleveland every time they get together in September. Here's the Rookie of the Year. The Cardinals feel Albert Pujols. Time asked and given by the umpire. Inside target. Pujols checks one to left field, and this ball is way out of here. Number 32 for the rookie. RBIs 105, 106. And St. Louis blasting out on top here in the first inning.
Wishing he would have gone to that. Take a look at the location. That's right where Bobby Jones wanted it. It's right where Ben Davis was sitting, and it was also where Albert Pujols again was looking.
An amazing season continues for this kid. And the Cardinals on top 2-0 as he takes ball 1.
Will reach those seats in batting practice. Big Mac did it consistently.
That's one McGwire hit here a couple of years ago, way off the line, out in left center, and Edmonds walks and McGwire will bat. And of course he thinks that's because he was favoring that knee that's been bothering him since off-season surgery last year. Rick Sutcliffe, that's the heaviest 192 in baseball right there. Cameras and binoculars at the ready. McGwire, a high fly ball, deep left field. Where's this thing coming down? Into the glove of Ricky Henderson. It was as high as it was far, seemingly, on a lower drive by Pujols. St. Louis scores 2. They have this year. They're nearing 700. The Chevys lineup starts with one of the great leadoff men ever in the game of baseball, the versatile Ricky Henderson, and then Klesko doing a big-time job in that number 3 hole.
Yeah, but the guy Bruce Bochy chose to hit in the cleanup spot is Phil Nevin. The last 2 years he's been the Padres team MVP. Most people in San Diego think that he's going to be at least in the top 10 as far as the National League MVP is concerned this year. 33 homers, hit over 300 all year long, and now has over 100 RBIs.
For the Cardinals against Nevin, Klesko, and that hard-hitting lineup, rookie Bud Smith. It'll be his 11th major league start. This guy was a huge winner in the minor leagues, and earlier this summer pitched in the AAA All-Star game here on ESPN. His on-base average very high at 362.
And he still draws those base on balls.
Nobody's going to catch Ricky Henderson. Ricky Henderson with 44. His next one will be his 80th game leading off home run.
It would be Ty Cobb now, and run scored.
Fastball. Ricky knew it, and Bud Smith strikes him out looking.
Bud Smith was talking before tonight's game about how he has faced Ricky Henderson before. He faced him earlier this year in AAA. He said he was able to strike Ricky out one time. Ricky also hit a double. He said, "I got you that time, kid." That he would go down there to try to get back.
A 2-0 pitch fly deep to right center. Edmonds is cruising for it, and Jim Edmonds puts it away for the second out.
They platooned him. They said he couldn't hit left-handed pitching. Well, in the 10th inning, Bruce Bochy sent him up there to pinch hit against a left-handed pitcher. It didn't work out then, but it did work out in the 13th when he sent the Padre fans home happy. Against left-handed pitching, Bud Smith saying the one guy that he did not want to let beat him tonight was the left-handed hitting Klesko.
Well, that may be that 3 for 3 against Bud last week, huh?
With a home run.
Glavin as well. The right-handers don't like that changeup. There's a little squibber to third. Backhand play, Palanco. He guns out Klesko by a step. The versatile Placido Palanco at third base tonight. A 1-2-3 first for the rookie Bud Smith. Pujols, the rookie, the homer, the difference. And here's a guy who's really come on in the second half of the season. His batting average was down around 230 into August.
As always.
And the 1-2 hit pretty well to right, but right there for it is Bubba Tremmel. Edgar Renteria in the last week of July was batting .235. Really sapped his strength. He's now back healthy.
There's a lot of tools in that young man's body. Those statistics pop up.
There's a drive right at Phil Nevin. Marrero couldn't have hit the ball any harder.
This is one thing that you can never get to show up in the box score. That's a rocket. It should have gone as a hit.
There's Bud Smith with a one-hopper out to short. Backhand by Jimenez. And the Cardinals go quickly in the top of the second. Phil Nevin will be the Padre leadoff man in the bottom of the second. We've got some serious power coming up next. Has played first, third, right field, and left like he is tonight.
And it's really given Tony La Russa some flexibility as far as his lineup is concerned. Get certain bats in there against certain pitchers, guys that have good numbers, because of the versatility of his youngster.
Nevin gets the bottom of the second underway. Nevin, a former #1 draft choice who bounced around a bit. A stop at Anaheim and a shot out to short. Renteria got the glove down and scooped it up. And 4 straight for Bud Smith to start off the game.
Just look at the lineup that's out there in place right now, and it is, with the exception of Ben Davis, not been through the draft. It's been through trades. Protect against chasing that changeup. That's a nice adjustment by the youngster on the mound.
Then he goes away and gets the little ground ball. Renteria there. Guns out Trammell. 5 in a row for Bud Smith. We've got the Athletics and the Baltimore Orioles at 10 o'clock Eastern over on ESPN2 tonight. Some of you will get Tampa Bay at Seattle. Jason Giambi is having another monster season for the Oakland Athletics. Former Cardinal, who's hitting .299 in 3 weeks as a Padre. Those are his overall numbers. 3 home runs, 13 batted in as a San Diego player.
Balls and go head to head.
And speaking of Ks, that's the one thing that really soured the Cardinals on Ray Langford. He strikes out more often than every 3 at-bats. And a fastball that misses just off the plate inside. So the Padres have their first base runner. A 2-out walk for Ray Langford here in the second.
Now 2 here in San Diego.
The 1-2 pitch on the corner. And Bud Smith strikes out Ben Davis. His second K. He's given up only a walk through 2. Top of the order for the Cardinals, who lead 2-0. And they're only 3 out again in the National League Central. The 2-0 to Palanco, and he lines it up the middle. That's what Tony La Russa has been seeing from Placido Palanco most of this year. Cardinal rookie records for homers, extra base hits, and total bases. And you're talking about guys like Joe Medwick, a Hall of Famer who was a Triple Crown winner. Slow liner, staying with it, Damian Jackson. He got the out, but his bobble cost him a possible double play. For more than a month, reach base every game. Nobody else has done that.
Wanted that pitch.
The 1-2, runner goes. Off speed, base hit right center. J.D. Drew's got good speed. He motors over to third. And there's the versatility of Albert Pujols. Powers a ball out of here. Dumps one to right center. La Russa with a runner on the move. He's been a hittable pitcher, but for the most part a winner. The 2-2. Edmonds skies it a mile high out to center. Twilight time here in Mission Valley, and Ray Langford puts it away. Cardinals leave a couple. They've left 3. Mark McGwire will lead off next inning. St. Louis still on top, 2-0. He's getting ahead. Bobby Jones, the pitcher, on deck.
His demeanor. There's a look at the youngster.
Young man out of Seton Hall. Change up for the strikeout. Damian Jackson way out ahead of it. Number 3 for Bud Smith.
Well, it's the same thing that he's been doing the first 3 innings. The off-speed pitch away, set up by the good fastball on the inner half of the plate. One thing that Cardinals would like to see more of out of Bud Smith is command of his breaking ball. Not going to happen here tonight with a 2-run homer by Albert Pujols, but how about 4 games yesterday?
1-0.
First time in Major League history.
Wasn't that something? There's a little flare out to right, but J.D. Drew, who was playing shallow, right there to grab it. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. A doubleheader on Wednesday Night Baseball, both on ESPN at 7 Eastern. Jeff Bagwell and that great offensive Houston. They lead the Central. They take on the Reds. Some of you will see the Indians and the Red Sox. At 10 Eastern, Luis Gonzalez and the D-backs in San Francisco to take on Barry and the Giants. Some of you will get the Cardinals and the Padres here.
Just incredible to think about the names of the people Ricky Henderson has passed this year in runs scored. The names of the players that Tony Gwynn has passed the last couple of years in hits. And as always, the guys Big Mac has passed and are after. Bruce Bochy begging him to come back and play next year just in that role.
Henderson walks, number 2,131. He's aboard with 2 outs for D'Angelo Jimenez.
Not only did he walk at being Ricky Henderson in his first 2 at-bats yesterday, but he was able to steal second base.
And Cooperstown for those guys. Ricky going, don't even throw it, Marrero. Totally stole that on the pitcher. And then on top of that, it was an off-speed breaking ball. And that's number 1,390.
He just, even now, after 23 years at the big league level, finds a way to touch home plate and help his team win ball games. Jimenez was in, collided with a bus in the Dominican Republic.
There's a shot. Renteria catches it. And Ricky won't score this time. Mark McGwire, his ex-teammate, will lead off in the top of the fourth. St. Louis on top, 2-0. And it was caught by Ricky Henderson. Second at bat, fair ball down the line for Nevin. And McGwire retired, leading off the top of the fourth.
Jimenez was acquired from New York.
Renteria shoots one to right field. And when he was going well the last couple of weeks before this mini slump he's in, he was hitting the ball to the opposite field a lot. And that was something the Cardinals wanted him to do, even though last year he set a Cardinals shortstop home run record with 16.
And he was hitting balls out right and left at the AAA level.
He's a free swinger. He's got a big swing, and that is a fair ball. Well done by Nevin. Marrero, I don't know if he thought that ball was going to be foul. He didn't leave the batter's box right away. He was in uniform for batting practice, and see him playing some catch. And
that's such a great story. It is so good to see him back at the big league level.
I asked him the other day in LA what he learned about himself and all that time at single A ball this year, and he said, I learned that the game can be fun again. What he went through last year and early this year was not fun at all. Ricky Henderson takes the fly ball of Bud Smith. Cardinals strand their fourth runner of the night. Ryan Klesko leads off, and then the power of Phil Nevin. Edmonds, nobody could catch this one yesterday off Young Kim.
Well, Ryan Klesko thought he was going to have the day off with the big unit on the mound. Most left-handed hitters do find themselves on the bench, but when the big unit came out, Klesko came in and was a hero for
2-2 the count. Klesko leads off bottom of the fourth, and he hits one high in the air out to center. Jim Edmonds under it, still battling that twilight here, and he finds it. Edmonds, a Southern California boy, he knows all about these conditions out here. Phil Nevin, 82 home runs into this season. He's added 33. Near the line, J.D. Drew for this one. 2 down. And Bud Smith neutralizes a couple of big power hitters. 2 1-0 games in each league yesterday, as Rick alluded to. There's a swing and a miss, and Bud Smith has his 4th strikeout. No hits for the Padres through 4. Top of the order for St. Louis coming up. And the Cardinals still can't figure out the call they got in Cincinnati 2 weeks ago tonight, when Vina, charging a ground ball right at him, was called for obstruction on a runner, and the umpire said the ball was by Vina. He was coming straight in for it. Ricky Henderson makes the catch. 1 out, top 5. We check in again with Dave Revson.
Thank you, Bob. SportsCenter in game. It's the best team in baseball. It's the worst team in baseball. Seattle, Tampa Bay early on. Randy Wynn to center. Mike Cameron can't catch up to it. Jason Tyner going to score. It's 1-0 D-Rays early on. Bob and Rick.
Those Mariners 2 wins away from 100 here as we're on the 3rd of September. Next up, Placido Palanco for St. Louis takes a big bending curveball for a strike. Rick was alluding to the Cardinals' home record. Comparing that to Seattle, they are 45-20 at home. Up the middle, Polanco's got a through the wickets base hit, and he's 2 for 3. Center field was that one. And Drew trying to move him along. Polanco's had 49 hits to left, 43 to right field. La Russa normally does something with the runner here. Palanco is going. Off-speed pitch. Drew strikes out, and Palanco kicks the ball into left center. Somebody better come after it. Oquendo's going to send him. He will score. 3 bases on a steal by Palanco, and the Cardinals lead 3-0. The outfielders reacting very, very late.
Well, throw, Palanco might have been out, but look at where he's at. He hesitates, and the throw runs into the runner. He should have been in front of it and extended his glove to get that ball. The outfielders had not started to break until they see the ball come their way. And by the time that happened, an aggressive Jose Oquendo as the third base coach put another run on the board for St. Louis.
Jimenez slow getting to the bag. Palanco is now considered what Oquendo used to be considered by Cardinal fans. A versatile secret weapon. A single, a steal, an aggressive base runner, an aggressive coach, an error, and St. Louis leads by 3. And the count's 1-1. He struck out 4, walked 2. No runs, no hits. Changeup, well hit, left center, chasing at Pujols near the track, and that's the longest Padre hit of the night.
Here's what cost San Diego that third run by their young shortstop. It's a slow curveball. You can see it coming. Look how slow it takes to get there. You know Palanco was off and running. Now as a shortstop, you've got to come get that throw. You almost have to pretend like you're a first baseman, knowing the guy's going to beat the throw, coming off the bag to save your infielder an error. Come get the throw now. Come get it. See him right in the baseline? That's not far enough in front. And that's something that you know with the outstanding infield instructors the Padres have. Alan Trammell, it's like he throws as hard as the big unit.
And a ground ball to short. Renteria plays it for the backhand side. On target to McGwire. And Bud Smith is almost now through 5. Matt Morris had Tommy John surgery a couple of years ago. Cardinals didn't throw him onto the mound to start last year, Rick. They worked him steadily in from the bullpen. And the Braves have used that model a bit with the resurgence of John Smoltz. And look at that pitch by Bud Smith. 5 strikeouts, 3-0 St. Louis. Edmonds, then McGwire when the Cardinals bat next. Jim Edmonds, a fly ball to center after his walk in the first. There's a line drive caught by Damian Jackson. With that pitch by Bobby Jones, everything seems to happen in slow motion. 2 innings in St. Louis last week. 2-1 to McGwire. Off-speed pitch, bounced out to short. Jimenez on target for the second out.
Because he has all year. Try carrying that body around on just one leg.
There goes another flying bat. The ball to shortstop Jimenez, and he gets Renteria by an eyelash at first. 1-2-3 for Bobby Jones. He will his rookie counterpart, Bud Smith. 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. Pitch count very reasonable.
Unearned. He made 1 mistake in the first inning.
Called strike, number 6 for Bud Smith. 3-2, high and tight, and Bud Smith has his 3rd walk of the night. And there's a running threat walking down to first base.
A manager has given him the stop sign. This would probably be one of them, though. You're down.
2-0 the count. High pop up on a 2-0 pitch. Renteria will take it near the bag. Ball sailed on him, and he's got it for the second out.
Listening to our broadcast on a 2-0 or a 3-1 count, if you do not make contact, make sure you're well out in front of that pitch. Don't get jammed or chase a bad pitch as D'Angelo Hernandez.
This inning, he started with 71 through 5. The 2-2 delivery, Ricky going, high fly ball right field. J.D. Drew, it's foul, it's in the bullpen, and he's got it right up against the rail. A tricky little configuration of those seats down there, and J.D. Drew played it like a player who is in right field here all the time. Nicely done. Padres gone, and we go top 7. Still no hits for San Diego.
Well, look at all of the difficult factors there. You've got a mound to go over. You've got steel for the stadium fence. You've got people wanting a souvenir, but you saw the peak down. J.D. Drew looking down, knowing where that mound was, taking the big step to get over it, focusing on that baseball. But more important than anything, him having the speed to get to that ball. Run to the plate and Phil Nevin.
And a bouncer out to Jimenez. Marrero almost beat that routine grounder out. We check in with Dave Revson again.
Thanks, Bob. In Seattle, Mike Cameron. The Mariners down 1-0. Sac fly right here. It's going to score Ichiro. That ties that ball game up at 1, and that's where it stands right now in the top of the 3rd. And in the Bird, game 2 of a twin bill with the Brewers. 2-2 ball game. Craig Wilson bottom of the 9th, and that is the ball game. The home run wins it. Pirates salvage a split, taking that one 3-2.
You know, like Minnesota Twins not playing, the Royals not playing, teams that could benefit from some nice exposure on holidays. And a fly ball by Bud Smith out to center. Right there is Langford for the second out. Top of the order now, Fernando Vina. In-game box score for the Cardinals. It's all come from the top of the order with the exception of one hit by Edgar Renteria to Vina. And he walks him. That's what you call coaxing a walk, to use that old baseball term. And Vina on for the second time tonight. Times now. Came into this game 0 for his last 8. After popping out, he's got 2 base hits right up the middle. And his base running led to that 3rd run 2 innings ago. Hard guy. And he lines one to left center. Vina might score on this play. He's heading for 3rd. Oquendo will send him. Palanco, 3 consecutive hits. And the Cardinals lead 4-0. Now you're seeing why the Cardinal players consider this little guy the best player they've had on their team all year long.
In the 9th.
Well, there are people sitting close to Bud Smith. They're not, you know, vacating him yet. And now the inning gets a little hairier for the Padres as Drew draws a 2-out walk. You hardly ever see Bobby Jones walk 2 or 3 men in an entire game, much less 2 in the same inning. Bruce Bochy going to his bullpen. It'll be Albert Pujols against the right-hander David Lee here in San Diego. Almanzar, and his 33rd appearance.
His last appearance came against the Arizona Diamondbacks, 2nd game of a doubleheader. Retired Steve Finley to end the top of the 8th inning, and a grand slam homer by Ray Langford picked up his first win of the year.
Bud Smith was not giving up a hit. The pitch count getting up there. 19 of them in the 6th inning. Never Steve would flirt with a perfect game or a no-hitter for Toronto. And a high fly deep right center. Ray Langford, who played a lot of center field for the Cardinals, over there to get it. A run on 1 hit. Bottom of the 7th. Nevin and Bud Smith next. 8 fly balls, 4 grounders, 6 strikeouts for Bud Smith tonight. High fly, playable for J.D. Drew in right field. That's how the bottom of the 7th gets underway. The Home Depot in-game box for the Padres will show us very little other than 3 walks, 2 with Ricky Henderson, 1 with Ray Langford, and absolutely 0 base hits. Well hit left field. Will the first hit be a home run? No. Pujols is there, right up against the wall for the 2nd out here in the 7th. In there.
The key to a complete game is that at the end of the game, the last 3 innings, you get better mentally. Your location gets better. Your thinking process has to improve along with it. Guerrero was going to move away. When he moved in, wisely the youngster stepped off the mound.
Got him on the corner with a fastball. How about that for location? 7 no-hit innings by Bud Smith. The Padres get back up in the bottom of this inning. It'll take a while, though, as Edmonds gets the leadoff walk. 4th walk issued by San Diego pitching tonight, and Mark McGwire will walk in. McGwire with a line drive stabbed, then the ball thrown away by Jimenez, but Edmonds can't get up to advance. Support or hit support. Renteria had that ball hit him. He goes to first. 2 on, 1 out. Would have been ball 4 anyway. And the Cardinals have 2 men on for Eli Marrero.
It fade as the year went on. They have done nothing but get better.
Marrero strikes out for the second out here in the top of the 8th inning. We'll check in with Dave Repson.
Thank you, Bob. You guys are watching a no-hitter. Tim Hudson had one going in Oakland. Melvin Mora, though, breaking that up. Single to right there. 4 2/3 of no-hit ball for Hudson. His team's still leading at 2-0 there in the bottom of the 5th.
And here in San Diego, it sounds like Bud Smith made a nice par putt. Some polite applause as he walks into the batter's box.
A record completely around. If you're 10-10 and can't field your position, you might be an 8-12 guy. The other way around when you can.
There's a 2-out walk, and the bases are loaded for Fernando Vina. 2 walks and a hit batter in the inning. Now you've got the added oddity of Bud Smith working on a no-hitter, having to go out there and hang around on the bases for a while.
Bruce Bochy hates the fact that he may have to come out and get David Lee, but that's been the knock on David Lee. That's why he has gone up and down between the big leagues and AAA.
Again, and Vina lofts a fly ball to center for Ray Langford. Cardinals will leave the bases loaded. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Bottom 3 in the order against Smith. We'll update you on those in a moment. Ben Davis, ground ball, 1 hopper, Palanco. He's down to 5 outs remaining. That was Pujols catching that throw. He's now at first base, and Tony Gwynn will be the pinch hitter.
He's probably thinking about that baseball he has in his hand. If he could find a pin, he'd love to have Tony Gwynn's autograph.
Diego now. 1 hopper. Renteria's got it. He'll throw out Tony Gwynn. 2 outs in the 8th. Gonzalez. Bases empty. 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th. Cardinal workhorse Steve Klein. Busiest pitcher in the National League warming up. Here's the 3-1. Ground ball caught by Palanco. The no-hitter goes into the 9th inning. A 1-2-3-8 for Bud Smith. St. Louis 4-0. Unbelievable 9th inning coming up. Take over here in the 9th inning.
Back in my rookie league pitching coach days in Idaho Falls for the Padres, Waskar was one of the prized pupils down there. Hard-throwing right-hander, better suited now probably for a long reliever, mid-reliever, maybe a setup role before the career's over with.
Cesar Crespo takes over at second after Tony Gwynn hit for Damian Jackson. And a chopper up the middle, covered by Jimenez. 1 out. Rick, you and I thought Palanco flinched a little bit. Did he lose this bouncer in the lights for a moment?
It happens a lot. Watch the ball get up into that light stander that is over the first base dugout. Palanco just had to close his eyes, had to look down, because first of all he had to guess where the baseball was. Then he had to clear his eyes to see it to make the throw to first. Bud Smith trying to help him make that throw. This stadium here was built for football. Wonderful new stadiums around the United States.
J.D. Drew with a base hit out to center. His first hit of the night, on for the second time. Walk earlier. Bud Smith do something incredible. Top of the order for the Padres in the bottom of the 9th inning. Albert Pujols 2 for 4 tonight. Runner goes. Pitch is low and away. No play. And J.D. Drew down to second base. And again, the Padre defense less than stellar. Drew's 10th steal of the year.
Getting some treatment on some things, but has not left the bench.
And a walk to Pujols. It looks like the young man closest to Bud Smith is his rookie left fielder, who was brought in for defense last inning, Kerry Robinson.
Mark McGwire is doing there to Bud Smith. Just kind of ease the tension there a little bit. Everybody knows what's going on. But you and I both were sitting with Bud Smith before the game. He's a happy-go-lucky guy. He likes to talk to people and listen to people. Don't the 13th.
Edmonds strikes out. Breaking ball, a good one. That's 2 outs in the inning, and Kerry Robinson will be the batter.
He has done 3 of those walks, 2 of them coming to the leadoff hitter in the top of the 9th, Ricky Henderson. The other to the former Cardinal, Ray Langford.
And it looks like Kerry Robinson, fly ball to center. Breaking back Langford, coming in Langford, he's got it. And here we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. 4-0 St. Louis. Bud Smith 3 hitters away from the no-hitter. Tries to become another Cardinal rookie to throw a no-hitter. Jose Jimenez 2 years ago June did it in Arizona.
More than Ty Cobb. He needs 12 for that, and he wants to get to 3,000 hits. He's 18 hits shy of being the 25th member in baseball history to do that.
Cardinal bullpen ready if needed. Right-hander Dave Veers. Left-hander Steve Klein.
Ricky's not find out right here.
Broken bat grounder. Renteria's got it. 1 out. Jammed him beautifully. Slugger would bat in this inning. The 3-2 inside, ball 4. Didn't miss by much. Bud Smith with his 4th walk of the night. And now, barring a double play, Nevin bats here in the 9th. 3 tonight. Runner goes, pitch high, ball 1. And Jimenez down to second with 1 out.
To the night by the kid.
3-2. Ground ball. Shortstop. Tough play. Renteria. 2 down. A tough short hop on the backhand side. It'll be Bud Smith and Phil Nevin with the final out sitting there.
But it's the bottom of the 9th now.
21-year-old from Torrance, California, Bud Smith, Cardinal rookie.
Breaking ball to Klesko, 2-0, the changeup to Nevin.
Ground ball, Bud Smith's got it! No-hitter for another Cardinal rookie! He threw 2 7-inning no-hitters in the minor leagues. In the big leagues, his rookie year, his 4th major league win, a no-hitter on the road in a pennant race on Labor Day.
What a tremendous job of fielding his position to get that no-hitter. He had to make the pitch and he had to make the play to make it happen. This ball would have been a base hit up the middle. Phil Nevin would have broken up the 2nd no-hitter that he has done in the last 2 days. But what a play by Bud Smith. Here it is. It's the changeup down and away. He made the pitch he wanted, but look at it. There it is. He flinched to begin with. The ball came up. The glove was there, and Bud Smith a part of history.
The 2 rookies hugging, Pujols, then Marrero. And right there in his glove, the no-hitter. A little toss to Pujols. And the 3rd Cardinal rookie to throw a no-hitter. Paul Dean did it in 1934, Dizzy's little brother. Jose Jimenez at Arizona 2 years ago. And Bud Smith here in San Diego. That's Rick Ankiel with the warm-up. Mark McGwire behind him. Final score, 4-0 St. Louis. Bud Smith, the no-hitter. Baseball tonight coming up next. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. For Rick Sutcliffe and our entire ESPN crew, this is Bob Carpenter saying good night from San Diego. Hats off to Bud Smith, a no-hitter.